Hey everybody, I am Tony Carreri.
And I'm Chris Carreri with LakeGreenwood Realty,
where we live the life we sell.
And today we have Mike and Diana Akin here from Illinois, and they actually sold their house in Illinois and decided to go ahead and rent a place on the lake down here until they found the right spot, and I think you guys found the right spot.
Oh yeah, we did.
Absolutely.
And how did you find LakeGreenwood to begin with?
Kind of by accident, to be honest with you. We were in Georgia.
Yeah, we were living on Lake Sinclair in Milledgeville, Georgia, kind of practicing retirement and practicing living in the South. We were in a long-term Airbnb, so no major commitment, hadn't sold the house yet. And we took advantage of that location to explore and see what else the Carolinas and Georgia had to offer. And tell them how we stumbled upon Lake Sinclair, or Lake Greenwood.
Like Greenwood, we were deciding that we weren't going to live there, and we decided to go roaming around to different lakes. We went over by Lake Murray. We'd already seen the Savannah Lakes south of here, and we were just looking at Google Maps going, huh, there's a lake.
Let's go check it out.
So
good idea.
We
so
drove
we
by.
checked it out.
Drove by over here at Grand Harbor, drove up, the gate was open, we drove in. It had everything that I was looking for. It had a golf course, it had lakefront, and it was kind of out of the way.
Yeah.
Not in the middle of a big city, which is really more our speed.
Right. Yeah, we had some things that, and Greenwood in '96 checked all of those boxes. We wanted a smaller community, but we wanted to be able to be near bigger cities, if you will, that we could get to easily. So Greenville, Charleston, Atlanta, Charlotte. You can be in the mountains, you could be at the beach, or you can be enjoying this beautiful lake.
Yeah, why would you go anywhere?
All the time.
Exactly.
Why would you go anywhere else, right?
Exactly.
That's right. In fact, this year we were thinking about going to Italy on vacation, and we decided to postpone it until next year because we wanted to enjoy our first full
there
summer
you go.
at the house at the lake.
See that? Italy's got nothing on Lake Greenwood.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And
Oh, that's
I hope
fun.
you get the chance to meet these folks, because whenever we work with buyers, we always start off and say, you're never going to offend us. Please speak your mind so we can dial in what you really want. And
They took it
do
seriously.
just
Oh, yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah.
We definitely took you to
Chris-
your word on that one.
Yep.
Chris learned that right away.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. You were very patient. I mean, it was great though, because we started actually looking in January of 23. Late January of 23 was when we first met you and looked at the first house with you. And we were still living in Illinois at the time. We moved here in June of 23. And once we actually got feet on the ground and we were in a rental, thankfully we were in a rental that we were on the water, so we could have the boat and we could, enjoy the lake, even though it wasn't our full-time residence yet. And anything that went on the market that Chris thought would fit the bill, we went and looked at. And you got to know us so well with regard to, okay, this is what Diana's going to like, and this is what Mike's not going to like, or vice versa.
That's exactly how that worked.
Yep.
But, and then, showing us some different houses so we could get an idea of what we're looking at, price range that we were willing to pay for what was available.
Right.
And that was one of the nice things coming down here and dealing with you from the standpoint of you didn't just show us houses in this narrow band. You broadened it out, and we told you we were fine with that. But we've dealt with other realtors that weren't. They kind of had you pigeonholed, and we're like, we know what we'll know what we want when we see it.
Well, and you got a good idea of the values
Absolutely.
at
Yes.
that point, and
Yeah, and it wasn't for lack of trying.
Oh, no,
I mean,
no.
you guys actually went after a couple of houses, and we always say, things happen for a reason, but a lot of times they don't happen for a reason too, right?
Exactly.
And because I think that you ended up with kind of the perfect piece of the pie here.
Yes.
well, we ended up right outside of Grand Harbor, but on closing day, it wasn't just one closing.
It was a lot in Grand Harbor. So we could be members over there. It's
A golf cart right away.
yeah, I mean it could be on the 6th hole in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's a great location. We have the beautiful property we were looking for. We're next to the golf course. We're in a wonderful cove. You can just sit out here and swim and not have the waves don't have to worry about that, but you still have a big water view.
Right.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, we checked boxes we didn't even know we had.
Yeah, there you go.
And that was the good part.
We when we lived in Illinois, we lived on a much smaller lake. 325 acres was
Oh.
how big this lake was.
Yeah.
So and Greenwood's well over 11,000. So that took some getting used to, but it was all getting used to in a wonderful way. We love getting on the boat and going to one of the restaurants that are on the water, or meeting some friends at one of the sandbars, or I just got some kayaks delivered yesterday, and my brother's got a
fun.
paddleboard here, so the cove is perfect for that.
You guys hadn't had time to take a vacation because you're having family here every
Exactly.
week, aren't you?
Exactly. Everybody wants to come and see us and visit us. In fact, we have some friends from Illinois visiting us at the end of July that we're going to introduce to you, because they want to start looking to see what might be available for them.
Sounds like a plan.
So, there's all sorts of future opportunities for that as well.
That's
So,
right.
Well, and we were talking earlier a little bit, Mike, and you were talking about how being at many other lakes and how surprising it is that Greenwood still has a pretty decent swath of lands that have not been developed yet.
Yeah, the surprise for me is the amount of shoreline that hasn't been developed as of yet. Knowing like Lake Norman and Lake Wiley over in Charlotte, that there's nowhere to develop.
Right.
And it's nice to see that it's still available for whatever reason, but the lake isn't too busy, but it's still busy. It still has restaurants, it still has facilities, marinas, things that you need, yet it's not that you can't go out there on a Friday afternoon or a Saturday
Right.
afternoon.
Right.
So that's one of the things, and for me, I get to see what Lake Norman looks like on Saturday afternoon when I fly over top of it, and it looks like a bunch of mosquitoes are on the water. I mean, everybody's all over the place. So from that regard, this is just more our speed. It's
Sure.
more, it feels more like you are on vacation
Yeah.
when you're out here, and all you got to do is go out the back door.
That's awesome.
Beautiful thing.
So.
Well, I'm so glad you guys are here and we found you such a great spot, and
so are we.
We
I
are.
can't wait to keep enjoying the lake life with you guys.
Yeah.
We
Absolutely.
enjoyed working with you. You put up with our
Idiosyncrasies.
idiosyncrasies,
Yeah, idiosyncrasies.
We'll go with
Use
that.
word.
but it was a pleasure, and you knew this house would fit us, and you knew it right away.
Yeah, it took a little bit to get there, but once it came to be, it was the perfect
It's worth
spot.
it.
Yes.
It was the
Exactly.
perfect spot,
Well-
and that's
well
what we
worth it.
want.
That's
We
right.
want you in the perfect spot, and I think you found it. Cheers,
Yeah, cheers.
everybody.
Cheers.